don't recognize this person today.
Then why don't you start taking the goddamn pills? Bitch.
Alright, it's Azek versus TTK. This is the finals of Poor Man's Monotype, which is a format that I can explain in the description if I remember. So TTK is using my team, Gaystyle Alliance. Azek is using some probably homebrew dragon team. TTK led with Greninja, presumably to get a one-hit KO at the beginning. He didn't, so he swapped to Gastrodon, and that will allow him to get hazards up. Azek has no way of removing hazards, which is very beneficial for TTK. If you're not aware, Defog was removed from a lot of mons in Gen 9. So now he sent in Dondozo. He sent in Dondozo, which is extremely beneficial because it has Avalanche, so it'll hit Garchomp for 4 times effective. Unfortunately, they had a Focus Sash, which means Dondozo is now significantly chipped, so he had to rest, but he doesn't exactly have the times to recover from that because they're sending in a Hydrapple. Empoleon is the only switch into Hydrapple on this team, unless you can get a Greninja at full health, which would require anticipating them using Nasty Plot. Very risky maneuver. Azek used Clangorous Soul for no fucking reason. I don't know why he's assuming the Empoleon wouldn't roar. Maybe he was anticipating a switch to Dondozo or Toxapex or someone that wouldn't want to get set up on. So TTK makes a bold move here and tanks the Giga Drain. I don't know if he calced that or not, but he uses Yawn, which is very likely to force a switch out versus most players. So now he sends in Alomomola to tank whatever Latios has. That's a smart move. Now he can basically switch to anything, but he switches to Empoleon. Unfortunately, that Empoleon is just barely not going to survive. The Empoleon is now likely going to need an Alomomola Wish Pass to do anything in the future, besides a sack, which is useful in this case, because sacks can lead to very helpful pivoting to either Toxapex, Alomomola, Dondozo, whatever they need to get a kill, but it'll most frequently be Greninja that you want a pivot to. Speaking of, that seems to be TTK's game plan about now, because none of their mons can really survive a Greninja Ice Beam. In fact, I don't think any of their mons can outspeed a Greninja, unless, of course, the Como has Vacuum Wave. So Azek gets his first kill with an Empoleon sack, but that allows Greninja to be sent in, and that is a guaranteed kill. Azek just had to choose which mon he wanted to sacrifice. Como, being that one is reasonable, the Como likely can't do anything without the turns to set up, which would require full health. Archaludon is always the switch-in. I don't know why he risked that with Dondozo. The thing about Draco Meteor versus Dondozo is Unaware allows them to attack as if they had 0 the full time. Now he's sending in Alomomola against Latios. That's a good bait out to see what they have. He's sacking Dondozo for a Greninja switch-in, the reason being they don't have any setup physical attackers. Like, Archaludon has absolutely 0 chance of sweeping with Body Press. The Greninja's in a great position right now, has the potential to clean up the entire game, at least once that Archaludon is very slightly chipped, which shouldn't be difficult considering they have an Alomomola, and that turns out to be the case. Azek forfeits, and TTK wins the finals and the tournament.